We're back on the subject of heating oil this morning, because if you are one of the people in Norfolk struggling to heat your home because of the soaring cost of heating oil, it looks like you'll be able to apply for help. The Prime Minister has announced a £53 million package to support people affected by the rising price of kerosene. It has more than doubled over the past few weeks in response to the conflict in the Middle East. Now the government is going to give financial help to lower income families via the Crisis Support Fund. Jerome Mayhew is the Conservative MP for Broadland and Fakenham. I spoke to him a little earlier on.
Lots of people have turned off their heating early. I've done that myself. I'm on heating oil. We're very low as well. And some people have even turned off their hot water. And that's having a big impact and a real worry. So what I did is I got hold of the oil company that was at the centre of this, which was Goff, which all of us who use heating oil will be familiar with. And I'm sure it wasn't just me, but we were successful in persuading them to change their mind on this.
Let's return to one of our previous guests who we spoke to on the programme last week, Lewi Gardiner from Great Ellingham, who his most recent oil refill earlier this year cost him £300. His most recent quote, though, £1,500 for the same amount. Lewi is also Operations Director for Macbrook Gas Limited, which is a local sustainable energy company. And Lewi is back with us this morning to look at how this has all unfolded. Lewi, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Morning, Chris. How are you?
Good to have you on the programme again, Lewi. So, a £53 million package coming from the government. Given the amount of people who are worried about paying for their heating oil, do you think this is a good move? Do you welcome the speed at which the government have come up with some support here?
I think they've moved quite quickly, which was a bit of a shock, but I don't think it's the right answer, to be honest with you. I think they're putting a plaster over a shotgun wound in some senses. They're sort of hedging their bets on everything in the Middle East staying stable or just sorting itself out and becoming okay. I think in the short term, hopefully it's going to help people, but there's a lot of pressure on local authorities as well, I believe. I don't know if people are going to be able to get the access as quick as they need. And that's not the local authorities' fault. We work quite closely with a lot of them. They're under a lot of pressure themselves. So I can't quite see how it's going to work out, to be honest with you.
Yeah, as often with government announcements over the years, Lewi, we've learned that the devil is in the detail. What we know at the moment is that this money is available, but it's coming to local councils. How it's then distributed, and we assume it'll be down to people who feel they need the support to actually claim it. It's another potentially quite long process, isn't it, to get hold of this support that people need now?
Well, I've never heard of the Crisis and Resilience Fund, so I'm not entirely sure how that works, but like I say, it is dependent on the councils being able to administer that. Will they be able to? Obviously, none of us really know. I mean, we work quite closely with a lot of different local authorities. Take Cambridgeshire for argument's sake. They have an action on energy team. Their team are fantastic. They'll reach out to people who are in a bit of a crisis with their fuel costs, and they'll help them out of a muddle. I don't know if such things exist within the Norfolk area. We're yet to work with anyone running the similar scheme, but
yeah, well, I think this is often an issue, Lewi. We often hear about many different things in life where there is support available and people need support, but sometimes matching the two of them up is the challenge. How you make sure that this kind of help goes to the right people is a challenge, isn't it?
That and the qualification process is they're going to be local authorities' hands are quite often tied with red tape and procurement. So how are they going to administer that? For argument's sake, I know that when we have worked with local authorities, there's not the funds to designate or hire in people to administer schemes or funding or anything like that. So they have to make good with the people they've got, which is just putting additional pressure, taking someone away from another role within the business or within the authority. It's not business, and it's just additional pressure. And then how will that funding get to the people? How are they going to administer? How are the people going to reach out? It needs to be quite clear when this goes ahead, and what the eligibility criteria is.
There are, Lewi, some more drastic or dramatic measures being suggested this morning. One is that heating oil should have some sort of price cap. We see the other forms of energy capped. Is that something you think is workable?
Well, I can't see how a price cap will work on this. It's just you're hedging, like I said, you're hedging your bets on everlasting peace in the Middle East. There's no way to determine what will happen. I think it's sort of a bigger problem than just the heating bills for that one. With getting dragged into a potential war or something along them lines, which is far greater than greater problem than this as such. I think for us, and I've spoken to quite a lot of people about this, and it just comes, I don't know, really. No one really knows at the minute. 53 million, I don't think it's going to touch. What did they say? 760,000 homes in England on oil, and there's 27 million pounds being allocated to that pot. It's just all about connecting them dots with the local authorities. And hopefully that people receive the help.
Well, what about a cut on VAT on heating oil? That's another suggestion.
I would say the VAT option would probably be, it's an instant, we're coming up to the end of the tax year. They could make that happen straight away. And I think that would benefit people greatly. The cost cap, not so sure. I'm not so sure whether that could be sustainable, really.
Lewi, thank you very much. Good to speak to you again. I'm sure we'll come back to this subject because it is one that is absolutely occupying lots of people. We know from the messages and the calls that we've been getting over the last couple of weeks. That's Lewi Gardiner from Ellingham, Great Ellingham, who's operations director for Macbrook Gas. He's also somebody who relies on heating oil to heat his home.